Hello friends, welcome back to another video with me. My name is Cotton Candy Doll. If you're new here, then welcome. Welcome all. This is a shifting video. Also, you might hear some noises in the background. I don't know about the insanely happy laughter. I think he may have left already, so. Also, I noticed I don't really like my background on camera, but I don't want to turn off my camera again because I've already fixed it like 50 million times. Trying to make it look okay for you guys. You can't even really see Toshinori, like what is going on. I can literally see like half of his face like peeking at me. It's kind of creepy. All right, so I haven't done a video in a really long time because I've been dealing with having to get surgery, and so now I'm finally starting to really recover. It was also very painful. I have something called endometrioma, so I ended up having a mass removed, and oh my god, guys, the pain was crazy. Like when I say like, I'm going to describe to you what it felt like. Okay, so imagine having a Charlie horse in your stomach, and it's this big, okay? But then, as you start to move, it grows bigger. So it starts to spread all over your stomach. And then if you breathe, it starts twisting, pulling. And then when you lay down, it starts convulsing. And so they're giving me medicine for that. And they gave me medicine for it, but the medicine didn't really work. So actually, it was a narcotic. It was called Percocet. Percocet. It had like oxycodone in it or whatever. Yeah, that didn't work. That wasn't working. So I took another one. At first they said take one. I took two. Two didn't help. So at that point, I'm just like, it's useless to me. Like, what is the point of me taking a narcotic? Something that, you can get hooked on. That's not helping me feel better. On top of that, all the doctors, they always lie. Whenever you tell them, like, whenever you ask them, like, am I going to be in a lot of pain? They're like, oh, no, you shouldn't be in too much pain. Like, at least mentally prepare me for it so I know what to expect. This was so unexpected, guys. I knew that I had to get the surgery, but I thought I kept hearing that I would kick back in a couple days or I would be fine. It's literally been a week it took an entire week for me to start feeling even a little better. Sorry for the wardrobe malfunction here. I was trying to get this working, but apparently I lost my safety pin for here. Yes. Maid struggles. If you're in a maid cafe, shout outs to you. So I'm in another maid cafe too. I'm into the second one is called La Petite Patillon. I think that's how you say it. Cafe. And then, I'm in the Honey Tea Maid Cafe at MASCL. So I haven't actually had a chance to work in this new cafe yet, but they sound really great. We will be at the next Anime Con, which is going to be DokiCon, I think. And that one is I'm trying to remember. I don't remember. It's in WI, which I keep forgetting what that is. But yeah, so so yeah, I had the surgery, guys, and I'm still recovering from it. And um, I actually, if I sit up for a really long, like if I sit up like this, my core can't hold itself. I have to actually lean back, like to give my back some relief. It's so weird. It's almost like I guess this is what it feels like to be pregnant. You would have that kind of, you know. Bill, speaking of which, this is not my first surgery. I actually had a earlier surgery, which was like maybe 2 years ago, and I had that done. And that was my hysterectomy surgery. Honestly, the pain was worse than that. I may have recovered a lot faster because it took like a week or whatever to start recovering from the pain, but it's nothing like how that was. Like this was far worse. And oh my god, no, I was like, I'm never gonna come back from this. Well, I did, eventually you do start healing from it. But it was literally hell. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna tell you guys about it when I come back because I want you to know like why I was gone all that time and what happened. So yeah. Now I did go see Toshinori and I did go see Keigo. So I went to Toshinori house and I told him about my surgery and what happened. And I basically just came by and kind of like just visited everyone and just said, hey, went to go see Frodo and then came back here. And, this was like after my fourth day and I was still in a lot of pain. So my show up there was just brief. I showed there briefly, and Toshinori took it upon himself to just carry me around. This keeps falling. I just don't know what to do about this right now. If it falls again, I'm not fixing it. Like I've been trying to make myself look decent. I really haven't felt all that great. So, yeah, it's recovery mode, which sucks. And I won't be working again for another week because I can't return to work because it's not really safe yet. So I figured just I'm walking around instead of driving myself nuts, just walking around the house because apparently, sorry guys, apparently I'm not allowed to go down the stairs either, which freaking sucks. So I'm just stuck walking around the house. I can't get outside unless I go down the stairs. Okay, so that sucks. This is falling apart. See, I look a complete hot mess today because it's falling apart on me. I really wish I hadn't lost that safety pin, guys, before the video started, but it's whatever. So, how have you guys been? Have you guys been doing really good? Put in a comment below. I've been doing really well. I've been doing really, crappy because you're not alone there. Like, a lot of us are not doing like fantastic right now. The economy is dropping. And so I'm thinking, I probably won't be doing that many more videos anymore because I don't really have the time to put into it like I want to because I have to try and earn money. And I can't just go outside of the box. There's a way that I can earn, and I don't know if I really want to do that. So, yeah, I'm trying to just figure this whole thing out. And, my channel comes last to everything else because I need to be able to live for myself. So, you guys probably won't see another video for a while. And I know I'm not alone in my struggle. There's a lot of other people out there. And so, yeah, I really just put these videos on here to share with everyone and kind of like help them with their whole shifting process. So I'm going to talk about a few things in my video today before I jump into my last shift there. I told you guys priorly, my prior shift there, I went to go and see them and it was no big deal. It was just really just to like drop my head in. Now I did spend my day with Frodo when I was back there, and that's because Frodo doesn't completely understand everything, and it's really difficult to explain to a 1.5-year-old, hey, well, he'll be 2 soon, so you got another 2 weeks, and then he'll be 2 years old. We don't even know when his exact birthday is, so we didn't want to make it too early because then it would be like that would have to make him be born earlier within that time. So when I first got him, they thought he was about 5 or 6 months, or was it 4 or 5 or 5 or 6, one of those two. And that was way last year, back in that wasn't last year. It was, yeah, he was like 6 months or something. Because if you count the time till now, this is why it's so hard to calculate Frodo's age. They just don't know. I just said, just come on. Just next week he's gonna be 2. We'll just take it from there. Whatever. That might be wrong. He might be younger, but whatever. I don't care. So I did go back. Where was I? Oh yeah. So I did go back. I'm sorry I'm all over the place, guys. I'm so sorry. I haven't been on this video in a while. I'm just trying to backtrack and remember like where we left off because I can't say that I haven't been to see them because I have. So I'm not gonna really keep track of like the time for this video. I'll just be like aware of it because we have a lot to talk about. So I wanted to talk to you guys in general about shifting before I jump into my video. So first, what happened? I told Toshinori about my surgery, and so when I came back there again, he asked how I was feeling. He done took it up on himself to get a whole book about it, the anatomy and female anatomy, trying to look into it. And I told him, I said, Toshinori, this book doesn't really, I told him it doesn't really refer to me. Like, you can't really compare me to this book because I'm missing half of those organs. Like, my reproductive organs are basically almost all gone. I still have, I don't have everything taken out, just the uterus. So, pregnancy is can't happen. And that was done like 2.5 years ago. That was my first surgery. So, by him getting a book and trying to like put together why I have this issue is kind of useless because it's like anybody can get it, they said. But for someone like me to get it, is really rare because of the fact that I don't have all those, I don't have those same reproductive organs as everyone else to be working against me like this. So it's kind of a phenomenon. It doesn't feel phenomenal, but it sort of is, I guess. So I'm trying to explain that to Toshinori, and Toshinori just doesn't get it. So then I told him, well, I still have another week before I can like recover. So then Toshinori takes it upon himself to pull me onto his lap, and we're making out. Then he starts putting his hand under my dress because I wore my white dress. Um, I didn't have any long sleeve. It was just a short sleeve, regular like white dress, just a just a pretty dress. And so like I had that, and I was there with Toshinori, and he's making out with me. His hands are starting to go lower, and I'm like, Toshinori, what are you doing? And he's like, getting a piece of the cotton candy though. And I said, we can't. I was like, we can't do it. And he goes, why can't we do it? I said, Toshinori, I just had surgery. I can't. They tell us that they tell you you can't. After you have surgery, if you had surgery, and it's different if you had surgery in your arm or your leg, okay? I had one in like my stomach, okay? And also they went inside and they looked around for like other they looked for like tumors or masses growing inside of like the abdominal area. So if they go in there with any type of medical tools, they tell you wait for 2 weeks after your surgery before you have any type of intercourse or anything like that. So I had to tell Toshinori like, hey, we can't do this. Toshinori like was like, he's like, who's gonna stop me? And I'm like, Toshinori, I just had surgery, I can't. So he's like, what will happen if you? I'm like, just listen to the doctor, gosh. And then he's like, Dr. Toshinori says otherwise. And then he pulls off his shirt, and I said, I have an idea. And he goes, what? I said, you really don't want me to like get affected or something like that, right? So he's like, he like does this long sigh, and it's like the world that's freaking ended. We don't have to do it every time we're together. He's like, oh, oh, oh. And I go, how about I give you pleasure instead this time? So I push him down, and he goes, Candida, I was like, can you please let me touch you? So Toshinori is like, just this one time. Guys, you know that I was like jumping for joy. Like, my heart was on the inside, was like jumping up and down. Because all of you guys who watched me previously, my first videos from the stalking, from the stalking, when I was stalking him, when I first met him, that this is the only thing I've ever wanted. You guys know that, right? For him to let me do what I want to him, for him to willingly let me do it, not for me to have to drug him or do any of those things. There was this love letter before when I was singing to him and writing him those letters. And then he told me, after I got caught, he said I would never be able to touch him. He said, I'm not going to let you touch me. But because of this, so I got something good out of it. I'm like, yes, he's finally going to let me touch him. So the first thing I did, since I knew like this is probably he's not gonna let me do this again. It's gonna be like one in a million. I was sitting on top of his chest, kind of like sitting on him, his big freaking chest, and like he's so big that like my knees barely go over like the side of the bed. So I took my hands, I ran my hands through his hair first, and he kind of does this. He like his eyes go like this, and he like narrows them at me. I'm just like, what? I just want to feel you. And touching all over him, and then my hands go up his chest, and I like rub on his nipples. So his chest is so hard like a board, and I just want to lay on it and bite it and stuff. But I don't do that because I don't want him to like. So like I listen. I put my head on his chest, and I listen for his heartbeat. And so his heart was beating, but I guess I could hear my heartbeat as well as like in sync with each other, which is weird. They say that. So like if you really love someone, you and the other person's heart, you'll have the same heartbeat or whatever. That's probably a myth, but it sounds like something you make up. like until like a little kid or something. So like I'm on his chest and I'm listening to his heartbeat. He goes, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Being your doctor." So then our hands go lower, and I pull out his special rocket, and I'm like, and you can see the two pilots on the bottom of it, like dangling. I take them first, and I kind of rub my fingers over them, and immediately he gets like really hard. So then I like kiss it. So I kissed like the top of it, and then he like frowns at me. I'm like, what? And he goes, "You're like infuriating me." And I said, "Of course, because this." Oh. And I did, and then I started to say, "You won't. When am I gonna get it? Whenever will I get a chance to do this again?" But knowing Toshinori, I know he would get mad at that because Toshinori doesn't like he doesn't like the humiliation thing, and he doesn't like being teased this way. So I know I'm like cutting it close with this because really I can tell he just wants to just like turn the tables on me and completely like probably rip off all my clothes and just like take me to the freaking moon, but he can't do that because he actually really cares about my safety and about me getting better. So I start teasing it, and then I put it in my mouth, and I start deep throating, and I'm sucking it like and sucking up all of his milk, and I'm like, but then I slow down, I'm going slower, and I can hear him moaning because he's like, and I was like, "Do you like it?" I'm like, "Does it feel good?" And he's like, "It feels good," and I'm like, and then I look at his face, and his cheeks are turning like red, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like I can't barely contain myself. I want to grab and grip him and pull him and make him into like. So yeah, I basically I made him mine. Like I gave him a good, yeah, he got to like do a Facebook. So really good. And I held on to his ass as I did it, and I like gripped it, and I just had his whole body in front of me. But he had to remain seated because I couldn't lift him or do anything as much. So it was a really weak. Even though I was trying to pull him into me, even though I was trying to get him as deep in me as I could, that way he could like completely choke me and I could like swallow and and I could like vomit. I wanted to like vomit at the same time and then like swallow it. But I was just too weak to really hold on to him. And I'm just like, damn it, freaking surgery, mass removal, just makes everything freaking hard for me. I can't even enjoy my freaking life. I got so mad at that moment because he's like, "What are you doing?" And he was trying to like do this, like hold on to the side of the bed. I was just like, I made him feel like I made him feel this big, and I'm so happy because I really wanted that from him. Oh, and the way he moaned and shook when he like his love milk came. Oh my gosh, it was like there is no feeling in the world like that making a guy feel that way, knowing that you have the ability to do that. And then it was Toshinori. And then afterwards, I went in, and cleaned up in the bathroom. And I came back out, and he's like, I'm like, "What is it?" And he's like, "Nothing." So I laid with him, and we cuddled. And he put his hand like around like where like my boobs were. So then his hand went underneath my bra, and he starts playing with my nipple and fondling, one of my boobs. And he's like, "What would you do right now if I just sucked on this?" And I'm like, "Oh, I know what this is. This is basically, and I'm just like, so I'm like, Toshinori, can you at least let me just get away with this one time, please? Like, can I have this victory until next time? Next time you can do this." I said, "Please don't do this now. Like, I don't want to be teased and played with. I can't have any pleasure right now from you. I can't." They didn't say, you're not allowed to come or something, but I mean, I don't want to like be turned on and not be able to get that. Like, I just don't want it. What I did to him, he had it coming. He had it coming from the beginning. That's all I wanted, guys. That's all I wanted, seriously. And I tried to keep this as PG as I could, but I couldn't. Like, honestly, his love milk was like running down my chin, down in my mouth, and down my face. And but I couldn't get myself to. I couldn't get it deep enough to where like it made me like puke. That's what I wanted. I wanted that more than anything. But Toshinori was also holding back too. He didn't want to go that deep. I guess he's just like afraid. But the thing is, you're big, but you're not humongous like what's face. Keigo, I would never freaking do that with him ever because there's a limit to what I can handle and what I can't. Like in my mouth or throat. Like my esophagus would probably be ripped out. Like he would probably rip it out of my throat. Um, because he loses complete control. There's even times when I had to like fight him off of me before with Kago because I mean it's not no way that that's like stop it, but it's kind of like me trying to get him to just calm down because he doesn't calm down. So I dealt with that with Toshinori. We laid there, and I managed to shift back here. And then I said, I'm gonna go back to see Kago, but then I'm like, no, because he won't listen, and I don't want to jeopardize my healing process because I'm ready to get better. I'm ready to get back on my feet. I'm ready to get back out there. And good news, happy news for me finally. So Frodo has a new teacher, a guy teacher who knows Frodo. He sort of knows him better than it seems like better than me, and I guess I treated him too much like a little monster. Uh, Cute and all. I love him so much. Love him to life, guys. I'm not gonna say love him to death, love him to life. But if I'm being honest, we were treating him too much like a monster hazard, not like really like a baby. And if I had really been thinking like a mom, then things would have ended up so much more different for Frodo, I think. And I think we're the ones who really stopped him from growing, and we're the ones who stopped him from being able to react because we acted like him getting close to a kid, man, he would like bite their head off. But the thing is that his mouth is this big. Um, I mean, he'll probably bite him first before anything happens, but also he's not going to be able to just eat him whole. So I mean, he doesn't have that form anymore. But then because I know RE, because I played it so many times, and because I've seen what those things do, it's sort of like that's the only part I see of him, and that was my mistake. So I watched him with this new teacher, and the new teacher understands Frodo. Frodo has been able to communicate more. He's even started speaking a little more than what he has. So he has a promising teacher. And now the next step is integrating him in the classroom. And so Frodo is going to be in the smaller group of kids. There's only about 6 kids that are going to be in a classroom with him. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see how he grows and how he continues to move forward. And I should always have had faith in my son from the beginning, but mommy always has this worry in the back of her head about her child in general. Like, I was also worried for his safety with someone trying to harm him and that sort of thing. So yeah, so that was like my really that was my good time with Toshinori, where I got to like sort of control him with my fingers, and it was so much more than that. But like I said, I'm gonna keep it PG because I feel like my channel, um, I need to make it more about the shifting aspect of it. Oh, I'm glad I went back to that because I wanted to talk about something. Now I'm getting exhausted again, and I haven't done anything but sit here. I can't wait for me to get like completely better. I just want to make Toshinori like a bitch completely. Like I just want him to completely give in to me. He gave in, but not really. He still like was holding back. And every time I think about that, I get a little bit upset. But I'm glad he gave me something because this is more than I've ever gotten from him as far as letting me like. We're gonna do it again though. Like going to like I'm not gonna use my surgery against him, but I'm gonna find another way to like try to get what I want. So let's talk about shifting in general now. So as a shifter, um, because things have not been going, I haven't really been in a great place. Not just because of my surgery. My surgery just seemed to come up at like the wrong time too. So in my mind, I thought about, just permanently shifting and being with Toshinori, as I said. But when you do that, you're making a really selfish choice because you're choosing to leave behind all the people who you've grown up with, your friends, family, your mom, everyone you care about. You're planning on leaving them all there, and you're going to move on somewhere else. Basically, meaning um, you're choosing to die in this reality, to live there, because when you leave here in this reality, if you permanently leave, your body is going to die. Your family is going to find your dead body. They're not going to know what happened. They're going to rule it out as a heart attack or something like that. When you go to when they do your autopsy, they're going to say that you died of a heart attack or you died of stroke or something. They're going to relate it directly to your brain or your heart, or they might do both. They might say, this person had a heart attack that led to a stroke or something like that. They'll do that. Now, you're all the pain that you're putting everyone else in around you because of this sudden death, because of this. Not saying that you won't die. Not saying that you're not gonna die someday. That's not gonna happen to you. It will, but I mean, you don't get to choose when you leave. When unless you're really old or you have a terminal illness and they say there's absolutely nothing we can do. What do you want to do? Do you want us to put you under and then you want to go, or do you want? They will ask you. The thing about being put under, because I've been put under twice now. Okay, when you're under, you have no idea what's going on. You don't remember being under. The only thing you remember is waking up when you get up. The surgeons at this hospital were so good. I didn't even realize when I fell asleep. I was just gone. Okay, when you're gone until they bring you back. Imagine if they had not have brought me back. Where did I go in that time? Where was I? Where was my mind? Well, your mind basically gets put shut. You're basically shut down, but you still have all these machines and things reviving you, basically reviving you. So when you go under, that's how it is. Okay, you don't hear anything when you're under. No one's hearing you talk to them, saying, "Oh, I miss you," and whatever. Nobody can hear that. They can't hear it because I couldn't hear it. I know exactly what it's like. So it's I have a better understanding of what it is to be under, like when you're put under. So just imagine for a moment you chose to go somewhere permanently because your life is just hell. You do that, just remember all the people you're leaving behind because it's technically the same as committing suicide. Just so you know. All right. I just want to point that out to you. And I just want to I feel like I need to discuss it because it's really important. It's not something that's meant to be left in the dark, and it's not something that's not meant to be talked about. We should talk about it. My plans moving forward and into the future, like I said, you probably won't get very many more videos from me. Might be also be ending this channel just because I have to do other things, and this is kind of like one of those privileges I have, and I'm not really going to have a lot of time and privilege available to me anymore like that. Because once I start working again, once I'm able to, I do want to try and earn enough money for myself to where I'm decent, and and I need to actually start saving, and actually, a lot of my time is going to be put more into work. My plan is to get my body back on track, and have actually to go back to what I was doing before I had to get the surgery. Go back to working out, exercise, and losing weight like I was. And I actually haven't started yet, but I've already lost about 6 pounds. And it didn't feel like I did much, even though I just walked around the house from trying to recover. But I guess just walking around this must be like really strenuous, I guess, if I managed to lose that much weight in a couple days. So, I mean, I'm ready to get back out there. I'm ready to get back on track. And I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on my channel. I hope that all my information I gave to all of you have been helping you out. I hope you guys have been and taking my advice that you guys have been trying to um, stay encouraged with your shifting and not to give up. And remember, you don't have to just try and shift to one place like me. I've tried shifting other places, it never works out. And you guys know that whenever I go to somewhere that's not my hero, it usually doesn't turn out that great. And I haven't really had a lot of success yet. And I told you guys I did go back to Vampire Night because I tried, and it basically just replayed from where I left off. So I don't want that to happen with Diabolic Lovers. So I definitely don't want to go back there and be sitting at a table with Norman with blonde hair. So, um, yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know. And I hope you guys enjoyed my videos and that you are enjoying my video. And if you guys have questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below. And I don't really want it. I'm not really ready to end the video yet, but I probably should. It's a really nice day outside, isn't it? It's really nice. By the way, guys, you like my heart? It's on this side. Yeah. I used to have a star stamp, but it ran out of star stamp ability. So I stopped using it. So now I have this one. And I think I have other ones too, but I don't really use them. So I was like, I'm just gonna put this on my face and it'll like tell everybody like I love all of you. I love all of you guys. Thank you for watching my channel. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to like. And if you hated it, then also don't forget to ring the bell. That way whenever I make another video, you guys will be notified of the video. Ding. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Bye.